evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me just like every Tuesday, we got my good buddy Steve, the voice white. Steve, how you doing this week, sir? Welcome back to the show, buddy.
It is my triumphant return.
I know. I hope you let your bosses know over there in Canada that every time they put you on the night shift, they're risking their lives with me.
They are, but look, it takes like 3 and 4 hosts to make up for me. Yeah.
And of course, joining us for the first time and gracious enough to come on my stupid little channel and spend some time with us. Of course, we have Archivist Adrift. Jason, great to meet you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And, before we get going, where can people find you on the YouTubes and the IGs? And what is your channel primarily about?
Yeah, it's Archivist Adrift. It's on both on YouTube and Archivist Adrift on Instagram. And it's mainly about my kind of journeys into conservation, comic book conservation, and just kind of figuring it all out, And and then I show, mail calls, pickups, things like that. But it's primarily comic book conservation.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
You and Jerry Jitterbug will have much in common there then.
Jerry is he's the reason why I'm into this. He's the
guru.
He was the guru. He was the mentor, the one who whose channel I discovered. I was actually had discovered a previous channel, like a fine art channel called Baumgartner Restoration, and on YouTube, and that really kind of he was restoring paintings. But then when I found Jerry's channel finally, seeing him doing this with comic books, it was like, wow, he's doing this with my these passions that I love combined.
Right.
So yeah,
and Jerry's a great dude. He's one of my favorite people. And speaking of Jerry, Jerry the Jitterbug, one of my all-time favorite people.
Hey Jerry.
Hey Jerry.
And Jerry's great. I mean, Jerry's not only a fantastic community member, but at least for me, he is a great personal friend. Absolutely love Jerry.
Absolutely. He was one of the first people that, helped co-host a live show that I jumped on. And right off the bat, he was, call me up if you have any issues. Extremely friendly. And
right. Except he's got the nerve to come on everybody's show and look better than them the best. Right?
That's probably right.
All right. Next in, we got Loston Wallace. Loston, great to see you, man. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We have Steve saying hello to everybody. Another one of my favorite people right here, Joe from Anachronic Comics.
Hey, Anachronic.
Yeah, we have Mr. Brian LCS. Great to see you,
Hey,
Brian. Hope you're doing well.
Godfather.
Then we have Matt Likes Comics. Hello, Matt. Great to see you, sir.
Hi, Matt.
Loston, thank you so much, sir. Completely unnecessary, but we certainly appreciate it. It's very kind of you.
Keeps me on the show.
Thank you, Loston.
We have my other co-host with the most, Digger Jim here. And let's see, there it goes. Now it's going to work with me.
Hi, Digger.
So Jim, just another great person, community member, and, good friend of mine. And Warlord, who will be on in a couple nights' time. Great to see you, sir. Always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you again. And, hey, there he goes. Yep. I agree, Loston. Jerry is a great comic book conservationist.
One of the best, absolutely.
100%.
And what is that he said to Brian? Oh, call me Loston. Hey, I got his name right. 1 point for the host. Woohoo!
Alphon is actually my first name. Wow.
All right, but for now,
yeah,
I'll give a quick tip of the hat for people as they're getting their notifications and joining us. But as is always the case, it's all about our guest. So, Jason, it is all about you right now.
Okay.
So, first of all, did you have fun picking out some books for tonight's show?
Yeah. So I don't have a whole ton of comic books because I've gone through those phases where you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, and I've kind of given up collections, that kind of thing, So when I was going through, I'm like, oh man, how am I going to pick 10 books? And then I'm like, well, now I got too many books. I got 20 books here. How do I narrow this down? So yeah, I had fun picking out what I wanted.
Nice. What would you like to start us out with your first one, sir?
Yeah, sure. So this is a classic, I think. So when I first started getting into comics, I got into comics in probably the late 80s, and this was one of the first books I think I knowingly picked up. You know, I had a couple of Spider-Man books before this, you know, but I was kind of a late bloomer to comics. I was probably in my, you know, teens, probably 15 or 16 when I got into comics, and you know, this was such an epic storyline, and
It was.
freaky storyline to get into when you're first getting into comic books. You know, this wasn't my dad's comic books, you know.
Well, it was very adult, but it was also still very Spider-Man at the same time. Like, they didn't lose the essence of who he was.
Yeah, exactly. There was a comic book I had it before this. I think it was a web of Spider-Man where he's it's sort of like a Job parallel where the Watcher is on the moon and he's tied up by some bandit, and they're taking odds on Spider-Man, he's playing a game of football with some kids, and he's got his arm tied behind his back. A really cool little side story.
Right.
I need to grab that book someday, but that was one of the earliest books.
You know what I really liked about that run, because I was getting it off the shelf at the time when I was collecting.
Yeah.
The character Vermin is written so well. Like, that character you feel bad for every time he's on the page.
Yeah.
Like, he's just that. You know, it's not his fault for who he is.
Yeah.
And you just feel like he's the kick dog all the time,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd love to see this come to the screen someday. So who knows?
And Jason will be on Matt Likes Comics show next Tuesday, guys. So make sure you're paying attention to that.
That's right.
Yeah, well, Craven the Hunter is a good character. He's a good villain to have.
Such a great character.
He should be in the movies.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the last one wasn't really where it was at, I feel.
No, that wasn't the greatest.
Yeah. So then, kind of going backwards now, way back in time, is this blonde
there we
phantom.
Oh my gosh.
So this is an Atlas book.
That is so gorgeous.
A timely book. She appeared in a number of books in this era. I think this is from 44, 40, maybe 47. I don't know. I can't remember. And this was a book that I personally conserved. So it was missing a back.
It looks amazing.
Thank you. It was missing a back cover, and it had all these rips in it and whatnot. And so I found a copy of Mighty Mouse, also from Timely, that had the exact same back cover, both the exterior and interior of the back cover. And I married it to this book to make it whole.
So do you do leaf casting?
I did leaf casting to this, yes.
Okay.
It looks perfect, dude. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
So what a gorgeous cover.
Was that?
What a gorgeous cover that is.
I know, isn't it wild? It's got like these horror elements to it, you know? I mean, this is clearly got it is Frankenstein in the book, but and her story is kind of like a reverse Clark and Lois kind of thing, where she plays a nerdy secretary to this detective that she's kind of in love with, and the detective he is in love with her blonde phantom personality, but thinks her secretary personality is too dweebish or whatever, and is not into that. So it's kind of like a reverse Clark and Lois thing.
Kind of like the Superman Clark Kent, huh?
Right, and she's always saving him from these little predicaments that he's in.
That's a hell of a twist with instead of the red dress in distress, she's the one that's saving him, and he's bonded up there.
Exactly, it's so unique, you know.
Cool.
The great thing about this is that the Mighty Mouse book that I took this from was missing its front cover, so it was almost like these books were kind of made for each other, you know. So
perfect.
So I wasn't I didn't have to pull apart a book or nothing like that. So.
Right.
All right, going.
But still, how cool is it to have a book that looks that nice, and it looks that nice because you did it?
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
saving the history.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite comic book conservations that I've done so far, and I need to send it to CGC to just see where it's going to come out. I'm sure it'll come out obviously conserved. I hope at least, anyways, and we'll see. So
blue label.
Yeah. So again, kind of going into my. First getting into comics, you know.
Silver Spidey 1.
Yeah. So, you know, I remember getting this off the shelf, and I remember the excitement of like his first book. I remember the excitement of opening it up for the first time. I remember like there was a lot of feelings reading this. I'm not really that much into this era of comic books now, but at this point, in this time, in this period, you know, that it was
there was so much new stuff happening, a lot of excitement.
Yeah, and everyone knew that he was going to get his own book, and I think there was all that excitement about what is McFarlane going to do with this, and then the cover came out, and people were like losing their minds. And I remember in the comments in later stories, people were like, you know, maybe you shouldn't be writing the stories, maybe you should hand that off to somebody. And I felt bad for him because I thought the stories were good, you know. but the artwork was what we were all after.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I think people had an unfair expectation on it.
Yeah, they did.
Like that first story arc, I really liked. I loved the character. I thought she was great.
Yeah.
And with the drums and the sounds, he was setting a mood with it.
Yes.
But people are like, oh, okay, there's not 18,000 thought bubbles, so it's not good writing.
Right.
You know?
Well, he was playing around with those movie ideas as well, where like the jam falls off the sandwich and then it looks like a big blood drop or whatever. And he was really kind of playing with that movie language, which I thought was very clever, And
he always did panel when he was allowed to do panel work. His panel work was always like that. Even back in Coyote.
Yeah.
He had those exquisite panels on his first stuff, which were just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, going way back now is Planet Comics number 10.
Ooh.
Holy cow.
So this is from like 1940, 41, 40 probably, I think. And what I love about this book is, well, it's my second earliest Planet comic. I have a Planet Comic 6 as well. Here's the back of it, all these weird ads. And I just love how pulpy it is. You got this, basically, she's the Queen of Mars, and this is Flint Baker, very kind of ordinary name for a future kind of character.
Yeah, but that's cool.
Oh,
but I'm sure, like back then, though, Flint was like a cool, name,
Absolutely. Flint kick ass, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, the cover, oddly enough, is fairly true to the story. Unlike that blonde Phantom, although she's fighting Frankenstein, there's never a scene in the comic where her detective boyfriend is actually strung up like that. But this is fairly accurate to the actual story. So
that's impressive.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on in that cover. There's a lot of artwork.
Look at all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
The green aliens.
Now, I don't know about you, Jason, but one of the things I love about looking from books from any era, when they had is the back page ads and just the ads inside the book, because it's always a snapshot of the times.
I know, isn't that wild?
See, like little pistols and different toys, a submarine.
Yeah, this is bizarre stuff.
You can always tell it's wartime with all the guns and stuff.
Yeah, and this is early war, because you see it even like DC books as well, where there's almost this too much data kind of ad kind of space.
Right.
As you get further into the 40s, they start spacing things out and making it more readable. But this is almost like it's all in your face, kind of almost like a newspaper ad in a way,
Yeah, not the sea monkey ads yet.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then same era, 30 or probably 39, 40. We've got Mystery Men Comics number 1.
Ooh.
And this is the first appearance of the Blue Beetles in this book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I love that original Blue Beetle costume. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this isn't the Blue Beetle here on the cover, but yes, in the book, he had
a pistol back then.
Yes, exactly. He was more of a detective character, very much modeled off of, the Green Hornet or something like that, And
he would have fit right in. He would have fit well in with Doc Savage or any of those other, the Shadow. He would have fit right in with them.
Absolutely. Cool. What were you saying, Steve?
The Mystery Men. It looked like somebody had drawn in the center of it if they were supposed to be white, but it looks like that's actually just how it looked. Yeah. This Science Comics from the same. This is Fiction House Comics. I'm sorry, not Fiction House. It's Fox Feature Syndicate Comics. And Fox Feature Syndicate, a lot of the titles had this sort of kind of scribble design that was inside the lettering. Yeah,
like
it almost
that.
looked like somebody took a pen and did that inside of it.
Yeah, kind of. I think they were going for almost like an electric thing or a neon thing, maybe, or I don't really know. But yeah, just a beautiful.
It looks good though.
Thank you.
Yeah, gorgeous book.
Thank you. All right, Flash and Board. I'm going back and forth between like the 40s and the 90s. I don't know why.
It doesn't matter as long as you're having fun. Okay. That's the whole point.
So this is a crazy book. Okay, I'm just throw it out here. Ralph Snart. I just when I was a kid, Ralph Snart was. I don't know if you've never read any of Ralph Snart stuff.
I have never read it.
Okay, so this was just kind of madness. This would be like
zaniness, huh?
Yeah, like
Martin.
Yeah, I remember just reading these books, sitting, and on the floor and just, belly laughing, at just how ridiculous it all was. Very Ren and Stimpy vibes,
I was going to say, it
Um,
looks like a Ren and Stimpy type of book.
Yeah,
And 2 free posters inside.
there you go. Yeah, that's right. I had this is from Now Comics. I don't know if you guys remember Now Comics,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they put out, I think, the Terminator comic, and they had a lot of like
Yeah.
they're carrying a lot of like franchise type, comics and whatnot. But
Yeah, I've got
Ralph
a few in
Smith-
my collection.
It is-
I'm trying to remember the titles though.
And it seemed like a lot of those companies back then, Eclipse, they tried to bank their companies on IPs instead of
That's right.
original properties.
That's right, and some of them were actually pretty good, honestly. But yeah. In fact, I think the Terminator one might have been one of the earliest Alex.
That was the first Alex Ross.
Yeah,
in the
Alex Ross
Terminator.
cover. Yeah,
His
okay,
first
that
comic
one.
cover.
Yeah, I have
Yep.
that one. That's a great
That's right.
cover. That blue cover.
Yes. Yep.
And then the one company that did do their own IPs, just which I love a lot, was Atlas Comics. Atlas.
Oh
Seaboard.
yes.
But they take, but I love their stuff, man.
I do too. I was going to grab some of those, but
Planet of the
maybe next
Vampires, that 3
Next
issue
show.
read is amazing.
time. Yes.
The Wolf the Barbarian's great.
Yes. And I
And,
just recently got into those because I don't know. I just like these little offshoot type companies, who and they're cheap. You can pick them up for
Nobody
nothing.
cares about these books. It's great.
I
You
know.
can grab them up for nothing.
I know, and I don't think there's that many of them, honestly. So they're probably a good spec book, possibly, perhaps. I don't know.
What's lost in say here? Weird thing about the 30s and 40s books, logos were original, redrawn each time for every new cover. So the shape and size of the letters often. I did not know that.
Wow, that's wild.
I didn't know that either.
He would know that because he's a professional artist. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Cool.
Monsters.
So my next one here is Red Sonja #1.
Ooh,
Sucking
yep.
up to
One of my
Gary,
favorites.
Sucking up to Gary. Sucking
Yep.
up to Gary.
Yes.
Sucking up to
I'll
Gary.
allow it.
So this is the second series. The first series she was in was after Conan was Marvel Features Red Sonja. And this was her first standalone series. And this is issue 1. And one of the reasons why I love this book. But
it's great.
The airbags are deployed, right? That's what you like about it?
I have the original art from page 11.
No way.
Oh, nice.
Holy cow.
And I love the Marvel feature, and I love that series. I have that #1 in a 9.4. It's the highest I've been able to get it in.
It just pops in black and white, doesn't it?
That is beautiful.
That's Frank Thorne's work. Yep.
Yep. And then
And
he go on to do Gita.
this is the only artwork I have, and I figured if I was going to do it, I might as well go big, So
Yeah, do it with something that you love.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I really love that.
Frank-
And
Oh, no,
Frank
that's
Thorne,
amazing.
Frank Thorne is just an amazing artist.
He is.
He's got such a style, and no one. Red Sonja will always be his. Whenever you see Red Sonja, you're going to thank Frank Thorne. So.
Well, I think of about 3 or 4 people, but he's
Well,
always
that's
there.
fair. Okay, that's fair.
He's in the running.
Like
He's in the
Thomas.
mix, right, Gary? Come
What's
on.
that?
He's in the mix, right?
Oh, Frank
He's gotta
Thorne's
be
at the top. I mean, he got into it more than anybody.
Yeah.
But he had that very first Barry Windsor Smith cover,
true.
which was one of my all-time favorite covers.
Yeah.
Frank Bruner did the cover 1, which was great.
That's right. That's right.
You had Mary Wilshire did that second run of Red Sonja was incredible. With Mary Wilshire's art was fantastic.
Yeah.
Just a lot of great people worked on Red Sonja in that era and did a lot of great things. But Frank Thorne's style with the hair and the eyes, the action. Another guy that did such great panel work when he was allowed to design the panels, just amazing.
Yeah.
And then he just brought that to a whole nother level when he did Gita of Alazar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Ribbit, which is a fun 4-issue miniseries.
I just grabbed Ribbit, Ribbit 1 or something like that, and it looks great too, And Gita is essentially Red Sonja with blonde hair, but
yes,
but
it's funny too because like the Red Sonja comics, because when they would print them in other countries, they didn't have the color guide, right? So they made her blonde over there.
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
so if you get like a Red Sonja book from like England or something, her hair is colored blonde.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's perfect. That's great.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. It doesn't. It seems. Yeah. It doesn't even. Red Sonja. Okay. Well, anyways.
And back there, I got a Red Sonja panel where it's a foreign one, but you can see where they change around the panels. They made one bigger, one smaller. They changed it around from the original, which they did a lot in the foreign comics.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, and then so I'm going back to the 40s again with this Contact Comics number 7, featuring
beautiful.
Tommy the Tomahawk, and this was the first kind of real book that I like. The first book, Golden Age book that I really conserved, that I really like took pride in conserving. This thing was such a mess. It was barely hanging on. It was just blown out. And this was before I knew how to leaf cast, so I was doing a lot of tear seals and whatnot. And I was really, really happy to get a 2.5 conserved out of this.
That's
Oh
amazing.
yeah, but it presents way better than a 2.5.
Yeah, no, that cover looks gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Well,
So, yeah.
because you know what, so what the corner's missing. It doesn't matter. You're not looking for the corner.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
that
you're not
middle
losing the
panel,
art.
all that middle cover art's amazing.
Yeah, this is LB Cole. LB Cole was in the 40s. He was one of the big, one of the big artists of this era. Yeah, he was known for almost this sort of like neon artwork. Later on, he was also known for his horror comics, but early on, he was more known for his World War II kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, next
I love
up
how the
is.
propeller's all messed up on the plane there. It looks like it's all ziggity zig, so it's got that motion to it.
Oh yeah, with the propeller here.
Yeah, look at the propeller on the plane
Yeah.
that's flying. That's cool.
Yeah, that he really. Yeah, you can tell these people were probably in the war or very close to it. All right, next big one. Was really, really happy I was able to finally cross one of these off my list. What was this?
Ooh, look at that.
Wow.
So this is
Now
Alex
there's
Schomburg.
Schomburg.
Early, timely. These things are super hard to get.
Oh my God.
Very, very expensive. Usually, I was just the right time, right circumstances that I was able to get this. Number
And isn't that
50.
such a big part of collecting, though, Jason? Sometimes just the right time, right place.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would definitely not spend the money on any. I mean, I love these books, but they're just usually way, way, way out of anything I can do.
And that's what I say too. I said, hang on to those dreams because you never say never. Because
Yeah.
you never know what the hell circumstances are going to come up, and you might pick up the books that you always wanted, right?
Absolutely.
You just have to have that perseverance, like me with my Mad One. I never thought I'd ever
Oh, nice.
let alone have a signed copy, right? It's like you just don't know. So you gotta just keep digging. Like Digger says, Digger Jim says, keep digging.
I got my brother onto Digger Jim's channel because my brother also does metal detecting. So, that's
The stuff he finds, the history he pulls out of the ground is just.
I know. I was watching his end of the year episode, and I was like, wow, this is great. I called up my brother afterwards. I was like, Jeremy, you gotta, because he's got a little YouTube video channel as well. I'm like, you gotta do one of these. This is great stuff.
It is. It's really cool.
So one of my most beloved and probably my most expensive comic today is this Exciting Comics number 9.
Ooh.
This is the first appearance of the Black Terror. He was the head character for a company called Nidor Comics, and they were a competitor with Marvel and DC and Fawcett and all those other big companies. And they had their own bunch of superheroes. The Black Terror here, the Fighting Yank, Pyro Man, a bunch of Liberator, I think, a bunch of other characters. And he was pretty much their Captain America, if you will, or
He's kind of got like
Superman.
a pirate feel to him.
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah.
The skull and crossbones.
Yeah, and later on in the 2000s, Alex Ross did a series called Project Superpowers, where he reuses this character because this character is now in public domain, and he gives him sort of a more piratey sort of kind of feel to it. He's
Swashbuckler feel.
Yeah, very swashbuckler feel. But other people like Alan Moore has used him as well in the Tom Strong series, and his Black Terror is much more like the Golden Age version of him, and different because he's in the public domain. Everyone's kind of reinvented him in their own way,
Right.
And and here he is with his sidekick. His sidekick is named Tim, just Tim. That's it.
Little Timmy Terror.
Tim Terror. Yeah, you go with that. So his powers are essentially there's this gas that gave him his powers. He's a chemist. He's a pharmacist, and Tim knocked over some chemicals that he was working with and got them all over the place. And out of character, the Black Terror, called him an idiot, and what are you doing? But whatever he did worked, and gave him his powers. And then Tim off to the side huffed a little bit of these same chemicals and grabbed the powers for himself as well. And they go out and fight crime.
So he's a clumsy chemist.
Yeah, essentially.
That is cool.
Yeah. So
that's like a magazine format almost. It's the larger size.
Yeah, it's these golden ages are all pretty big.
What's up, Jason?
And I would say that these are pretty rare. They don't come up very often, and when they do, you really want to kind of grab them because collectors hold on to them, and they seem to be getting. The Black Terror in general seems to be becoming more and more popular over time as well. So,
well, he's got a cool name.
Yeah, and he looks badass. He looks like the Punisher of the Golden Age or something.
I mean, it's not Flint, right?
It does too.
It's not Flint. That's right.
Kind of look to him, right?
His real name is Bob. So Bob.
Bob and Tim.
Right. Bob, Tim, and Flint. Let's go on an adventure.
So yeah.
That's
anyhow.
awesome.
You reminds me of, you ever see that cartoon, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? I love that cartoon. It's so good. Okay. Well, Flint Lockwood, I got my eye on you. Oh, it's just such a good cartoon.
Okay, I'll have to check it out after this. So those are the main 10. And then you wanted me to grab a book that kind of had special meaning to me and all that good stuff. So it's Conan 1.
Yes.
So
see, he's doing a great job of kissing ass tonight. Red Sonja 1 and Conan 1. He knows what channel he's on.
I totally forgot. I mean, in fact, you had a show recently where you were going on about Robert Howard's works, and I had actually read, I think, only maybe one or two Robert Howard stories. I'm much more. I've been much more into H.P. Lovecraft. I've always wanted to get into Robert Howard stuff, but I love the film. John Milius, and I think he's an amazing director, and I love the first film, and of course I love the Marvel run, and so this is my second Conan book. And the first one I got during the COVID bubble, and it was probably like a 5.5 grade, and I was just going to clean it up a little bit instead of CGC. I tried a technique I wasn't that familiar with. And unbeknownst to me, the spine was weaker than I thought, and it started kind of falling apart on me, and it freaked me out. I was really so upset about it, and so I kind of explained on my channel, what had happened, and actually did a giveaway where I ended up giving it away to somebody after I fixed it up a little bit, and my brother, who's not into comics at all, he happened to watch that channel, and for my birthday last year, my 50th birthday, out of the blue, he went through the whole ordeal of figuring out how to buy a comic online, which he had never done before, and trying to figure out whether what he could trust, and if there was a dealer that wouldn't rip him off, and is this the right price for a comic book, and
make sure he doesn't buy the facsimile and not the real one.
There you go, exactly. And this was heavily water damaged. The guy who sold it to him was saying it was like a 3.0. That might have been, I don't know. And so I cleaned it up a little bit. So
you can remove those water stains by washing the book, basically.
Yeah, so that's essentially what I did. I used a process where you take. Well, I not for this book because I find that early Bronze and Silver Age books, they don't handle baths very well. So there's another process that I experimented with a little bit. It's I've been using more and more lately. It's called a gelling gum process, where it's this material where you make a mold or a slab of this like gelatin substance that has certain not chemicals, but certain stuff that we use, like betaine and calcium hydroxide to deacidify the book and whatnot. And it basically, through osmosis, it removes the stains out of the book without
cool.
the harshness of
Yeah,
a
without
normal
damaging
bath.
the ink and the paper.
Right, exactly. So I was able to at least remove the stains doing that with this book. So
that's awesome. It presents beautiful too.
Yeah.
So are you going to submit that one, or are you keeping that raw?
I think I'm going to keep it raw, just because I want to be able to leaf through it. And my brother gave it to me and all that. So.
Roy Thomas is coming to Heroes Con. You get it signed.
Oh, I might have to do that. All right.
He's only coming the one day though, the Saturday. So I got to for that to get him to sign my copy too.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not sure if I'm going yet, but I've had people ask me if I am. So I
now a little. You want a little comic history and fun fact?
Sure.
Oh, here we go.
Because you seem like the kind of guy that likes it. Now, I already taught you that there was a blonde red Sonia, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that there used to be a comic in the 50s, a Spanish comic, La Reina de la Costa Negra, which was Queen of the Black Coast. It was a comic about Belit.
Okay.
It ran for a while, and you never see them. They're impossible. But Conan was blonde in this book.
Wow.
Well, there was also a blonde Conan back in the 50s.
Horrible. Oh, wow. Oh, how fancy. Look at how pretty your hair is there.
So just some weird fun stuff.
That's great. I love that.
That's like He-Man of the Barbarian.
That's
I have the power.
Well, speaking of foreign comics, so you asked me about a spec book or a book that I may be specking on. And I don't, honestly, that was the hardest part of this challenge was I don't really spec on books.
Me either.
I just grab what appeals to me. And if it's, if it's going to go someplace, great. If it doesn't, well, okay, that's fine.
Right.
And bring it. Well, you had Mike Chonko on your show not long ago, and I think did he show any of his Brazilian books?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
He did.
So he's really into Jaime Cortez, who's a Brazilian comic book artist, and I'm not really specking in this whatnot, but I also grabbed a Jaime Cortez book, which is this one here.
Oh man, is that beautiful!
It's from the early '60s, and I grabbed it for $100.
Oh wow!
Might as well. But I'm talking. I think
transformation.
I think you mentioned that Sky Ott was the name of the one guy who's pretty much the big collector who is really grabbing who has most of these books, and because there's so few of them out there.
Right.
I've been talking to him on Facebook a little bit here and there, and kind of getting to know him a little bit. And it's just a wild artwork, and there's very, very few of these because of the climate in Brazil and whatnot. But this is not really what I wanted to show. I just wanted to show the foreign book because I've been kind of getting into my own foreign niche, and it's a Golden Age book. It's a series of Golden Age books, actually. They're called Fantax. So in France in the Golden Age of comics in the 40s didn't really do superheroes. But after World War II, after 45, there was kind of a desire for superhero characters because the GIs had come in and they were kind of, showing them their Superman and Marvel books and all that kind of thing,
Right.
And so this comic book creator, last name Michaud, he went by the nom de plume Shot, and he created a series, a character called Fantax, and this is what Fantax looks like.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so he's modeled after Our Man, actually, and he I'll show you a few of these. They're very thin.
That looks really delicate.
They're very delicate. I'm going to do some conservation to these, but they're very thin. They're only about 8 to 12 pages.
Oh, kind of like the old British mags with Spider-Man and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Conserving
Exactly.
paper back then, or what?
Well, I think they did. The paper was rare. Here he is caught in a bear trap. Look at it. His leg is in there, and it's really gory.
Man, look at the size of the trap.
Yeah.
Are they single staples or two staples on those?
These are single staples.
Okay, yeah. So it's definitely conservation.
Man, they're hunting some big ass bears.
Yeah.
So with the size of that trap.
And so
Nearly cut his leg in half.
Oh wow! Now
So
that's cool because that just looks like a great horror story.
It's a
Yeah,
good ghost.
so these books that they're people in France. This character was so popular that they created toys of him, and he was fairly popular in the era. But what happened was he only existed from 1946 to 1949. But then the Catholics and the communists in France got together. Rarely, they were arch enemies. They didn't like each other normally, but they didn't like the American influence on French children. They thought it was too. The communists didn't like it because they thought it was too imperialistic, too American, too capitalistic, and the Catholics didn't like it because they thought it was morally kind of, they didn't care for it. So here the backside of one of them. So they banded together and they had their own kind of like Senate hearings in a sense, sort of like what we did, but like 10 years before. And they had a period where they were like, no, you guys can't bring. First of all, no more American comic books can come into France.
Yeah.
And we will and so shocked he loved this character. The character is actually he's a French detective who works in New York City, sort of like a Batman type character.
F-Man though. He's F-Man.
Yeah, F-Man. This is a really great one. He's fighting the Ku Klux Klan in this one.
Oh, cool. You imperialist dogs, go back.
Yeah. And so they, before they could ban his books, he was like, you know what, I'm going to just end this character.
That's incredible. Look at that, the way that the pages are almost like ripped and stuff in, but that is cool.
So
man, I would just have to read them
for the art.
So they lasted from 1946 to 1949. Then there was a second series. They were big in Italy as well. So they translated in Italian, and they showed them off in Italy as well. And then in the late 50s, when kind of this sort of like kind of scare, American scare passed, they did a second series. And then Italy did their own version of Fantax in the 60s. It was, I think, a different character, but I think the name was still out there in their heads. Yeah, it does have a Alex Raymond vibe. I totally agree. So I am working with a friend of mine, Robert Emmons. He's a documentarian, and I think we're going to do something on Fantax, like a YouTube video, because he's a forgotten superhero. People don't know about him, don't remember him. People know some of these Brazilian artists now and Brazilian comics, but France's comics outside of, France has a comic book thing. They had Obelix and Asterix. They have Smurfs. They have they have their comic book thing, but their superhero stuff is just not known by anyone. Even in France, it's not known. So I think it's time for people to just rediscover Fantax.
That's pretty
very
cool.
nice. That is a great pick, and just cool to see those books.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's amazing how big they made them too, right?
I know. Yeah.
For paper that thin, you make the book that long.
That's
almost
right.
like a newspaper, but a thin newspaper.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know why. I know in America they experimented with comic book sizes a little bit. Like they tried pocket sized books and that kind of thing. But the problem with comic book the comic books that were pocket sized was that they were easy to steal. So maybe if they went for it with this bigger format, comics would be a little bit harder to steal, perhaps. But I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
that was amazing. Holy cow!
Thank you.
Damn, Jason, you came out hard with this first round.
I know, right?
Well, I wanted to bring my best foot forward if I could, So
mission accomplished.
Oh, good.
Yeah, amazing books.
Thank you.
Stuff that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
It's incredible. That's what I love. Right? But then there's also a nasty rabbit hole, right, Gary?
Oh yeah, but all first books on the channel except for maybe the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, I read Sonya, of course.
And Red, yes,
and Conan,
and the Conan.
Well, I meant that other people have brought.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they see their Red Sonja and Conan stuff from me every week, so that's old news here.
That's fair.
But no, that was fantastic, dude.
Okay.
Great ones. I think the Mystery Man comics was one of my favorites. That was great.
Yeah. That,
That was just gorgeous.
So I got that book. About a year ago, about a year and a half ago.
Hey, what's up?
There was a bound volume that was of these early Fox Feature Syndicate books from the late 1930, like 1939 to 1941-ish. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with these bound books, but essentially what early collectors, early comic book collectors, they didn't care about the they didn't care about mint condition. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So what they wanted was their books collected. So oftentimes they would grab their favorite comic books and they would go to a bookbinder, have them bound together.
Sold them together with a binder. Yeah.
Exactly. And so there was a eBay auction, and there was 3 huge volumes that included Fawcett comics with all early, like Wiz 1 or something, or Wiz 2 or something like that.
Oh,
And
wow.
there was one for Centaur books. Centaur is another smaller kind of comic book company that existed for a blink and then was gone, And then there was these Fox Feature Syndicate books. And Fox Feature Syndicate, they only last until probably the early 50s, early 50s, I think. And but the early books were very, very pulpy. The Eisner and Iger studio did a lot of the work for them early on, and we got characters like the Blue Beetle out of there. So when I grabbed the other 2 books went for pretty high price, and I was able to grab the bound volume for a decent, in my opinion, a very decent price. I think about $2,000, which was a lot of money, but for the type of books that were in there, it was a really, really good deal. Yeah. And so then I started a lot of the books in there were a lot of these bound volumes, usually bound volumes are, the books are pretty well preserved because they come right out of the press and they're put into a bound, kind of copy, and they never see sunlight, and they're really, really nice. But these books weren't in that kind of condition. They were kind of ratty and whatnot. And so I figured the best thing to do to make sure that they would last, another 100 years was to unbind the book. And I still have all the pieces in case I ever need to, redo that if I ever wanted to go that direction. But I unbound all the books, and I have them. I have each of these books now. The problem with bound books, though, is that they're typically trimmed on all sides except for the spine.
Right.
But the books that are this rare, it really doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
When you get into those ages, having restored books, I really don't give a crap about.
Yeah,
age
exactly.
stuff when they're trimmed and that. I mean, that happens.
Well, and especially if you can just go through it and read it too. Who cares?
Absolutely.
If I get it cheaper just because of that, I'm taking it all day long.
Yeah. Being able to leaf through these. Absolutely. Being able to leaf through something that's, 85, 90 years old.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
I mean, if you get something like that, you got to look through it. You just got to sit down and
100%.
absorb it.
You got to read it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what they were meant to be.
Yeah, that's right. And so I do have some pretty big plans from some of these books. Some of these books, I actually have a second copy where I have just the interior and not the cover. And so I'm going to swap the interior out so that and then I'm going to use some leaf casting technique, and I think I'm going to make a couple of these whole so that they would come back as a conserved book rather than a restored book if I were to grade them out.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, Jason, man, those were amazing, dude. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for bringing your books and your knowledge on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah,
dude, it's our pleasure. And hopefully you'll come back for another one.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, then let's start our wrap up here. We'll go around the horn as we normally do. And Steve, we always start with you, man. What is coming up for you?
I am going to be hopefully hanging out with Trev, the shipping guru, now that I'm back to normal to days again. Tomorrow night, shipping guru with Trev. Chris, the comic vet, he does his Show Us What You Got, but that's really late at night, so I probably won't hit that. And coming up, I'm going to be doing an interview on Paul in the 619. So
nice.
See where that comes up. Like, I'm doing the interview on Friday, but it's pre-recorded, so I don't know when he's going to drop it. So we'll record it then, and then he's going to drop it sometime whenever.
Oh, awesome.
And then, of course, back here on Tuesdays with my good buddy Gary.
Yes, sir. All right, and coming up in 2 nights' time for me, we have Warlord coming on for his second show, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then next week, we have 2 new guests. So we have Parasinoscopic, who does a lot of horror photography and publishes a horror magazine, works for publishes in a horror magazine.
Oh, wow.
So if you follow Parasinoscopic on Instagram, you'll see his great photography, and he's always very gracious enough. Whenever I get anything from him, he always sends me a signed photo that he took, which is just, of course, with great horror pictures and models and stuff, and it's just great.
That's awesome.
But he's going to be on with just cool collectible things he's found. So it's going to be that's next Tuesday, and then Thursday we have Randy Comics on for the first time, so I get to meet another person that's new to me, which will be very exciting. And probably one of the best things about YouTube is just always meeting new people and getting to find out what they love and what they're passionate about. And as always, we always end with our guests. Jason, what is coming up for you, sir?
Well, as mentioned earlier in the show, I will be on Matt Likes Comics next Tuesday, probably around the same time that your show is going to be running. So it might
Inconceivable.
Yeah, I know. A little competition there. I might have to have your show off on to the side, you know.
You know what? YouTube there's so much going on. You know, where it's like, oh, I don't want to do my show at the same time yours. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. You just you got to pick your slot and you go with it. If you're up against somebody, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
As long as you're having fun.
That's exactly right. I've been live with Matt before, and I love being on his show. He's such a great guy. So I'm going to be thrilled to be on that. And then on the 21st of March, I will be on the live show, which is Rich and of Big Nasty Comics and Mike of Chunko's Comics, their live show. And it's going to be a panel discussion with me and a couple other conservators where we're going to discuss comic book conservation and restoration and where the market's kind of going with that and all kinds of other stuff. So that'll be fun. And then hopefully I'll have a couple of videos out sometime this week.
Right, and I think the dirty name that conservation has, as far as grading companies goes, is going to go away at some point because there's really no reason for it to have a dirty name.
Absolutely, I think conservation more so before restoration, but I think even restoration, the stigma is kind of easing off a little bit now that people are kind of getting more and more used to it, and especially some of these books, they're not going to be around for ever. And hey, dope. And so, some of these books, you won't be able to get them unless they've been conserved, you know? So.
Right. And you either want it or you don't.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, look, more for us.
That's right. Exactly.
Like you people hate on that. Make sure you hate on it. Yeah. So
that's right. Yeah. More for me. More for me.
And so I'd like to thank my co-host, Steve. Great to have you back, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Always great to have you as my wingman.
Pleasure,
and
Gary.
Of course, thank you to the live audience we had here tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting the show and coming out to support our guests. Everyone's links are in the description below. So if there's somebody you're not following, you want to check out more of their content, go ahead and click on any of those links. It'll take you wherever you want for these people. And you may find your new favorite content creator. And of course, there's no show without a great guest. Jason, you are a spectacular guest. Thank you so much for your time, your knowledge, and your passion. We certainly appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, we're going to say thank you so much for watching and keep it casual.
Bye now.